actually, if I can help anybody at all and empower anybody to do a bit of solo traveling, whether that's a day trip out, whether that's a weekend away, about how do I cope when I'm by myself solo traveling, why don't you come and spend the weekend with me as I take you on one of my solo travel weekends. And I'm not going far from home, I'm going 30 minutes down the road to York. So just like when you go into a hotel, it's exactly the same with me and my motorhome on a field. Here's reception. Wave! So I'm here. I've got checked in. The sun's come out. I've got my chair out. But the thing is about solo travel is you're never really by yourself. I've got chatting to the lovely neighbours here. I've been chatting to the wardens. Loads of people have invited me over if I want to go and join them for a drink. But I'm just going to chill for an hour. I'm just going to enjoy watching the sky. A bit of people watching. Cheers. Good morning. I didn't do much filming last night, and to be honest, like I said, as a solo traveller, you're never really solo. I had a great night with the neighbours. I drank far too much wine, as would be expected, but I've now got the bike out. I've had some breakfast, and I'm going to head up Planetary Way, which is the bike path that's going to take me into York. Tyres pumped up, cameras on the bike, let's go. Opportunity this week at work, and I was invited months and months ago by a colleague to join one of the ambassador groups and do a chat about solo travel. Now, the ambassador group was Empowering Women in Leadership, which I've been a member of for a few years now. I had this opportunity to do this talk, and it was a talk that they wanted me to do on solo travel for empowerment, that well-being, mental health, well-being, menopause. So if you're going to do solo travel, start small. A bike ride will do. Somewhere you've never been, go for a walk. Don't try and do too much at once. It's like training for a marathon. It's small and steady. No problem, thank you. So there's bike parked up 4 miles from my campsite where I was staying. Just my campsite that I'm staying on, it's called a temporary holiday site, or they're sometimes called rallies with the Camping and Caravan Club. Now, they're pop-up campsites basically, but it's races weekend in York, so it'll be a busy one, and I'm such a people watcher. So I saw this group of people and I'm so nosy. I thought it was actually a queue for the restaurant. Turns out it's one of those historical talks. So ideas for solo travel in York that I've looked into is the Van Gogh immersive experience. I haven't looked at prices. We'll pop over later and have a look. I'd definitely go there. The Jorvik Centre, great experience. I'm just going to have a pop. Oh, all the bubbles. I'm just going to have a pop into Primark now for a little wander around. Because solo travel to me isn't just about the last year. You know, the first opportunity I had to solo travel was, my first memory of solo travel was when I was about 11. And as it was back then, the intercity trains, you used to be able to travel first class as a child for £1. So I went and visited my friend who was staying with her granny at the time, up in a place called Campsie Glen, just on the outskirts of Glasgow. So, you know, then in my 20s I went to New York by myself. You know, I've always solo travelled. It's not nothing new, but what has changed over the years is actually what solo travel means to me and my journey as a solo traveller. Something else I'd consider doing for the day is the hop on, hop off bus tour. Absolutely great for solo travel. What it means to me, and I think that's what's really important and has been important for me as part of vlogging, is everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey means something to them, you know, and I think that's what we need to remember, particularly when, you know, when we're sharing our stories and our journeys of our travels and what we get up to. And the people I meet have all got their own journeys and reasons for travelling. Something else I like doing? Going in the charity shops and looking for the bargains. But as part of this talk for work, there were lots of questions answered, and I didn't shy away from, it's not, you know, the goods, but also the downsides to solo travel. But one of the questions that got me thinking about, okay, you know, how might I be able to actually help people, was for those people who had never gone anywhere by themselves, and that fear that they might experience just at the thought of even going somewhere. So one of the things I suggested was to actually pick the phone up and record into it like you were having a conversation on the telephone. And I think that's probably what I do when I solo travel and vlog. Is the vlogging I've really enjoyed, because it does sometimes give me that company. Not that I need it, because, you know, there's a few good points that were raised during our talk. Next thing on the list, food. I always struggle with this one. Fish and chips, takeaway. I actually want to just sit down sometimes, but that's one of my big fears that I have to get over, is actually going to a pub, sitting down, having a nice refreshing pint of shandy and something to eat. And if eating out is not your thing and you want to be prepared, bring a picnic. Most towns and cities and your big places generally have picnic areas. And for those of you that know me, you'll know I'm really disappointed that there's no guinea pig versions of these. And of course, if your budget extends to it, why not treat yourself? So I went for my new usual favourite, chips and curry sauce. So whilst I'm sat here eating my lunch, I'm just thinking, and my thoughts are, I'm going to verbalise my thoughts. So whilst I was queuing for my chips, which are lovely by the way, Mr. Chippy in York, there was a gent in front who was having a real go at the girl behind the counter, and you could tell it was the first day. Do you know what? People like that really get my goat. So yeah, I stood up and I was like, you know, chill out, everybody has to learn. I think the problem was, clearly people with attitudes like that feel insecure about themselves, not other people. And I don't know if I feel passionate about these kind of things, because I used to work in hospitality and I know how hard it can be. But I think people have just lost sense, honestly.
Do not be wary, do not be afraid. I have the proper equipment. There goes Silvio. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will.
Everybody's journey for solo travel is independent and means something to them. But I think what we really need to normalise is solo travel. And it is, in most cases, it's choice. You know, I've got lots of solo traveller friends who don't like going by themselves, but there's some great social media groups out there, there's some great groups of friends who I've met up with, who I am in, you know, I'm now in a fortunate position that if I said to anybody, you know, do you fancy a weekend away, I'm sure they'd join me. So my poor planning has let me down this time. I'd wanted to go and play the Harry Potter Crazy Golf. I'm happy playing Crazy Golf by myself. I'm quite competitive. Fully booked for the next 3 hours. Should have booked it this morning. So instead, I'm going to go back, get my bike and pop to the Chinese supermarket. So it is a choice for me, and maybe I am a little naive in saying that, because I appreciate there will be people out there who it isn't a choice for, you know, if they've lost somebody that they did travel with, and I've had that, you know. I did a lot of travelling with my grandma. She was a big inspiration for my love for travel, and it's sad that I don't have her there anymore, but you know, I know she wouldn't want me to stop going off and having adventures, and as she got older through the years, actually she quite liked listening to my adventures. But actually, if I can help anybody at all and empower anybody to do a bit of solo travelling, whether that's a day trip out, whether that's a weekend away, whether that's staying in your own town or your own area, whether that's going to a new part of the country, whether that's going to a different country, because the feeling you get from going away on your own, you know, it's not just the feelings, it's about the learning, you know, it's about the people you meet, it's just the whole package. So say hello to my latest subscribers. Give us a wave. What are you called?
Neve and Charlie.
What Neve and Charlie. Look, we're at Bishopthorpe temporary holiday site. It's amazing. Neve and Charlie are the best stewards ever. So I've had a lovely afternoon. I've had a little nana nap. Got back from York. I was fairly shattered. I had 20 minutes. I've sat outside in the sunshine this afternoon, just people watching. People have had a barbecue. There's a party going on in on the camp for a gent who's 80 tonight. Lovely. Somebody's got an accordion out. I could go and join it, but you know what? I'm quite happy tonight, just in my own company. Cheers. Sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. It's a day in the camper for me today. And when it's a rainy day, I do what all good YouTubers do. I get my biscuits, my cuppa, my laptop, and I edit the videos for you to watch. Hello, I'm Jo. Now, it's been a tough few years for us all, but throw in my rapidly depleting hormones and you'll soon realise why John packs me off most weekends with a bottle of wine and sends me on my way. But apart from that, I'll take you on lots of adventures and journeys around the UK and Europe. So to join me in the future, remember to hit that subscribe button.